looking at the postures as entertainment. Like, oh, let me get some more. That one looks fun. Let me try it. The idea is that you perfect the posture that you're on and let that fully integrate before you move on to the next one, so that you are established in the purification that that posture has. You don't move too quickly to run the risk of injury. Okay? Now, this might seem a little strange, but the next 4 series are really one series. They're called advanced. A, B, C, and D, or 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Alright? So I'm just going to write A, B, C, and D. Does anyone know the Sanskrit for the 3rd series? We have in the story of the Gita, some of you, I see, have this translation, the Yoga of the Bhagavad Gita. This is an amazing version to read just for the background, the good side and the bad side, and what they represent. The Living Gita is a little bit easier to follow in terms of what's actually happening, just line by line of what's happening. But if you read, and she brought all 3 of them, this version, which is called Srimad Bhagavad Gita, this would be the last version that you would read, you can see the Sanskrit of the introduction to the Gita, so you'll see the actual Sanskrit. Neither of these have the actual Sanskrit, neither the transliteration nor the actual Sanskrit writing, okay? So if you read the actual Sanskrit, it's built as a poem. So the first chapter of the Gita is like describing the beautiful warriors that are there, and this person won this battle, stands at the top, and the biggest, strongest man on earth. And so it's this big heroic epic that's kind of built. And then after the suspense of this is the army, and then of course it's sort of built up to say that the Kurus are nearly undefeatable, and they talk about the thousands of legions on their side and the poor Pandus who are so good in their ways, but definitely outnumbered, and it's this big, tense, dramatic build-up.
Gavo, Parto, Vasta, Sudhir, Bhakta, Dogda, Gopalanandanaha, Duttam, Gitam, Ritam, Mahat.
Sarvo Upanishado Gavo means, this is funny, all the Upanishads are cows. Is the most beautiful, perfect cow. It is the distillation, and this is important. The Gita is the distillation of all of the knowledge of the Upanishads placed in an easily translatable and understandable form as a parable. Alright? So all the Upanishads are cows, but the Gita is the biggest, most prolific cow that produces the sweetest milk. Alright? Now, the nectar-like wisdom of the Gita is the milk. So the wisdom that flows from the Gita is the milk, is the nectar that comes from the cow. Then, the noble seekers of this celestial drink, the noble seekers are the ones who drink the milk. So you, the ones who take benefit, reading the Gita, are the drinkers of the milk. That can only happen in this particular circumstance. So we should understand the analogy. Also, it makes reference to the Indian tradition. But even that analogy perfectly illustrates the teacher and student relationship. Arjuna, as the student, is necessary in order to evoke the flowing of the knowledge. Without the student, without the calf, there's no need for the milk. Without the student, there's no need for Krishna to come and bring the knowledge out there, because Krishna, doesn't need it, but the calf needs it. So he can come in as the vehicle for the knowledge, the essence of the Gita, to flow out into the world. So it is this perfect archetypical combination of the ideal student with the ideal teacher that creates the entire background that he must practice. He must, with his entire life force, concentrate his mind on a single point of attention. So we have this notion of practice and non-attachment. We must be super, super present, but at the same time, non-attached to the fruits of our labor, or offer the fruits of our labor and the results of our labor to God, to the divine, and thereby be able to execute our dharma, our right action in the world, without being ensnared in the cycle of karma, or the cycle of good and bad actions that accrue on our soul as a result of that. Okay?